I think you have an issue with monogamy being the standard, and you think that monogamy is harmful. That's what you said. Monogamy is harmful. Why is that?
So I don't necessarily think monogamy is harmful. It's harmful as a social norm to begin with. Like, I don't think that it's right to just like, especially in the talking stage or like the beginning dating stage, to just focus on one person and expect to be with just one person. And on top of that, there has to be specific levels of commitment in order to get to that monogamous relationship and to create the boundaries and the rules and set what you want. So I think monogamy should not be the beginning norm. I think it should be what everyone
like
comes to a conclusion.
Long term, you do want that, or do you think that like 5-10 years? How old are you again?
I'm 26.
I think she just wants to go with the flow if it naturally occurred and it felt right. But the thing is, when you agree to monogamy, it can very easily get toxic.
Exactly.
And the guys tend to start controlling
No,
you,
it's because you choose the wrong man.
you.
Let's just be honest. You choose the wrong man.
Well,
if you choose
that could be the case.
If you choose a man that says to you, I want to get married, I want to have children, I want it to be a monogamous relationship.
But they lock it down and then they have different plans.
I know, but not all men are like your ex.
Well, most of them.
Like
They
that.
just need to communicate.
Because I've also dealt with
and be
bad men, but they're not all
transparent.
like that.
But so you're open to it though. You're open to being committed to one person.
So I am committed to one person. So it's literally go with the flow of what I feel like. So it's like at the moment I physically do not want anyone else. I have no interest in anyone else. So we've talked about it, and we both were like, hey, we're not really interested in other people.
Right.
We love each other's company. If a situation comes up where we meet somebody together.
So it's kind of just feeling based, emotional based.
Exactly.
So you said that it's like a toxic social structure, like to be monogamous. But what
from
kind
the
of shift
get-go.
from the get-go? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So specifically from the get-go, I think monogamy should be established and agreed upon from both parties, not just be kind of the norm for everybody.
The thing is, anytime you institutionalize something, it
Hang on,
very
I
quickly
gotta
gets
say
toxic.
real quick. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but Red, you got to go get an energy drink. You got to go pound an energy drink. Right?
Yeah.
You seem like you're passing out on that end.
You can say that.
Yeah, just pound an energy drink. You'll feel a lot better.
Can I? So
I know I've taken those brutal flights myself out there, and that always helps me.
So I just want to ask you, like, okay, so I know you said, like, even the relationship you're with right now, you said you guys enjoy your guys' company, you guys are committed to each other, but, if you guys want to date someone else or things change, so where is the actual real commitment? Like, how do you see that if there's no real commitment?
Well, there is commitment because we decide on it, and we have decided that if we meet somebody, it would be somebody like that we both like and we both would
like
enjoy
to bring into the
to bring in into
a
relationship.
not to leave each other for.
No, but however, if we do meet other people somehow and would want to be with other people, like. It is what it is.
So what it comes down to is basically it's a different structure where we are ultimately only committed 100% to ourselves and our own personal growth.
Isn't that a little selfish though?
No, it's actually not, because that's the only way that you can truly show up and full out love somebody with your whole soul and receive their full out unconditional love from their soul. When you start
but it's not unconditional. It's conditional.
It's conditional based on at any point. If this relationship no longer serves your personal growth and your highest good, or my personal growth and my highest good, as consenting adults, we will peacefully do what we got to do.
Then why make a commitment in the first place if it's not really a commitment?
I don't. The only commitment I make is to my own personal growth, health and development, and to being completely honest and transparent. So there's no shadiness. We talk about everything.
Honest and transparent either, then it's really just
and
a
when
one
you
way.
reach that level, you don't need to have these monogamous things, because that's not what it's about. It's about connection. It's about love. It's about
you feel that.
I get what it is that you're saying,
regardless.
the whole self-love, and that you have to show up for yourself 100%. I get that. But then that also just takes away with people being able
It
to
actually
get out of
doesn't.
the relationship faster. You don't fight for anything. Like you
No,
just,
that's
like,
actually not true, because when you actually find those aligned people who are worth fighting for, that's how you weed it out. I love your fucking soul so much that I'm willing to be curious. Why did you do that thing? I'm just curious. And we have no jealousy, right? Because we have no reason to be jealous. We are awesome human beings. And if this guy wants to go, fine. Another cool, awesome person will come in. If we want to leave because he's not stepping it up or he's not doing the right thing, we're free to go.
So do you believe in the
but
new?
isn't jealousy actually kind of healthy? So doesn't that show that you hang on? Doesn't that show that you actually value a person and value them as a human being to the point that you don't want to share them, or that you don't want any other people to intrude? You want them all to yourself.
Lol Paladins donated $200. Controlling man, noun, when a woman wants to have relations with another man, and the boyfriend or husband says no. Number 2 is the definition of toxic femininity. Let the rest of the panel speak.
Well, they're all engaging, honestly, and I don't see a problem with people engaging. But to my question, isn't that part, like, if you love somebody, right? Now I know that you can take anything to an extreme. You can even take how much you love a person to an extreme, smother them, this type of thing. But wouldn't you expect to see something you value for you to be a little bit jealous of, if somebody else was kind of moving in, or you felt they were spending time away from you, things like that? Isn't a bit of jealousy good? And for you to say, well, I just don't have any, isn't that really just telling us that you don't value anybody?
Mm-hmm. No, I would say that the jealousy is a tool. It's a tool. It's just an emotional tool.
Well, it's a human emotion.
It's a human emotion, but it's nothing to get stuck on. It should be a passion sparker. Like, you know what? I'm getting kind of jealous that he's really talking to that girl a lot at work. Instead of me trumping and getting all dramatic or whatever, what do I do but step up my fucking game? Well, then I'll dress a little cuter.
Yeah, but isn't that's just shit testing, though? Right?
It's not. It's fun. It's honestly very fun.
Isn't the old adage of play stupid games, win stupid prizes
It's
occur
not
as well?
stupid,
So,
though. It's not
like,
stupid. It's
if
actually, that's the way you have a passionate sex life for the
Hold
whole
on,
relationship.
guys, one at a time. Let him finish, and then you can go. Go ahead.
If you're in a position where you value somebody, of course you could easily experience feelings of jealousy. That does not only not make you a bad person, but probably a good thing. It's probably healthy. It shows that you love and adore this person and you value them and this type of thing.
Or
So
it
for you to
shows
kinda
that you're
say,
not comfortable with
hang on,
yourself.
just hang on, I'm almost done, and I'll let you speak, I promise. Isn't it good in many ways that people show that they have a bit of jealousy, because that's the value. They're showing, I value this thing. And you're like saying, I have none of that. Wouldn't that tell me that you just don't value anybody or anything?
I would say that the jealousy is actually, the root of it is your own insecurity. See, I don't have jealousy because I know I am a unique, one-of-a-kind energy. If a man wants to have experience a different flavor, that's fine. Why would I be jealous of that? He'll be back when he wants this flavor. No different than how it's a tool. Jealousy is a tool.
Andrew, let her finish. Go ahead.
I just look at jealousy as a tool. Now, what I prefer more is true admiration and respect. When I truly admire a man and respect him, I might have that little twinge of what we could call jealousy. But what it is he's holding me accountable to rise up my level. For example, there's this guy who is my guy. We all have the one that got away, the childhood love, whatever you want to say, right? He's just my guy. We've never actually been together. But you know what I love about him is that he had this kinky side. I didn't have that coming from the Christian world. I was like a good girl. So because of my love of this man, my reverence of him, my respect of him, I allowed that to rise my game. So I went out and learned how to fuck how he wanted to
sexual.
fuck.
But this is there's a bunch of kind of
but then it became fun for me, and now I have an extra skill to bring other men.
Calm down for a second. Hang on. Just let me say what I need to say here. So it seems like there's a bit of pedantry here where you say things like, well, I'm a unique special energy. It's like, well, okay, but everybody's a unique
It's
special
true.
energy.
That is true, which is
right?
why I don't think that
hang
we
on,
should.
Stop. Just stop. Let me finish. Holy shit, before you cut in. When you say things like that, it sounds like a bunch of non sequiturs, like a bunch of meaningless spiritual esoteric tripe that means nothing. See, the thing is, I don't get jealous because I'm a unique special energy. Well, yeah, but that guy over there is a unique special energy, and he does get jealous, right? The thing is that none of that really actually answers to my question of value. So if you value something, the whole purpose of valuing that thing is I love it, or I desire it, or I want it. It has value to me. That's where jealousy inserts itself. Can jealousy become toxic because people become irate over it? Sure. But does that usually happen? I don't think so. I think it's pretty common that people become jealous even over kind of small things, and even laugh it off, and even recognize, maybe that's a bad feeling to have, under this circumstance or that circumstance. But what you're talking about really doesn't actually answer my question of, do you value anybody? Mm-hmm. And if you do, how do you demonstrate that without wanting to be a bit possessive or things like this?
I just don't resonate with the word jealousy or possession or anything along those lines. Just because it's common and that's what people typically present doesn't mean it's healthy. That's not love. Like, I love my children, so I want the absolute best for them. A lot of times they choose things that is not my favorite, or they go spend time with other people when I would prefer to spend time with them. But I love them so much, I value them as an individual. Okay, if you believe that that's your best life, that that's your best choice today, that that's your best friend, and you hate me today, okay. I love you so much. I have the space to allow you to be yourself. And I bring that same energy into my relationships dynamics. It's okay to have jealousy, but what I tell men is, that's your issue. You go process the jealousy just like I do. I feel the jealousy sometimes, and guess what I do? I go process through that. No, I'm saying everybody has these human emotions. It's what you do with it. So I might feel a twinge of jealousy. I go and do my inner work.
You just got done saying that jealousy does not resonate with your frequency.
It
so you don't
doesn't
experience
resonate
it at
with
all,
me to
and then
carry
5
it
seconds
into
later,
somebody
no, I'm jealous
else's
sometimes,
presence.
but I just know how to deal with it. It's like, but everybody, then that's the story of every human being out there. Almost every human being out there gets jealous, and most of them know how to deal with it by the time they're adults because they have to, right?
Okay, so maybe
I don't know what makes
maybe
you
I
special with this
misworded it,
vibration
and we can
exactly.
agree on that. I was simply saying, as the emotions of jealousy or possession kick in, I don't bring that into my relationships. I go have a night to myself, and I ask myself, what would make me feel insecure? Why do I feel insecure in comparison to, for example, this other woman?
Yeah,
and then
that's
I
just
think to
you
myself,
coping
well,
with
you know
jealousy.
what? She's in better shape than me. I
Yeah.
really like that. And so you know what I do? Instead of dumping that onto my relationship, I go get in better shape.
Hold on.
Right.
You know?
So
Right,
you're
final thing,
coping
Andrew.
with
Final
jealousy.
thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you're actually coping with jealousy. What you're saying is, I have ways in which I
I use
ways
it as
in which
an
I cope
invitation.
with jealousy, and these are
it's
all the
not a
ways I cope
coping.
with jealousy. And
It's
I
not
teach
a
people how to
coping.
cope.
It's not
I
a
teach
coping.
people how to cope.
It's not a coping. It is you're using jealousy as the tool
That is what
of the
coping is.
invitation. It's a
Cope.
tool to look inward and say, what is
It's
this
cope.
triggering?
It's cope.
What is this triggering?
Yeah, but you're
And then
jealous
what
of the
coping
attention that
means.
he's showing to her. So
No.
you're like, okay, let me look like her
That's
now.
not true.
Yeah, let me look like her.
That's
I mean, that's
literally-
cope. It's
but
literally,
jealousy could
if
literally
you
what
looked
it
up
is.
cope
That's
in the
pretty
definition,
toxic,
that, or
I feel.
All right,
in the
well, we can
dictionary,
agree
that's
to
what the
disagree.
definition
We can
would
agree
be.
to disagree.
We all
That's
are
on.
jealous.
fine.
It's just a human
Pull it up,
thing.
Nick.
It's what you do with it is all I'm saying.
But,
No, yeah, that's
but
what
if
he was
anything,
saying.
if
He's
you
saying as we
show
get
the
older, we
jealousy
learn how
in
to
your
control it.
relationship, it could actually help your
I
relationship.
wouldn't
You're
say
just
it's
denying the
controlling it.
fact that
I
you're
say you're
feeling it.
processing
that
it
one?
in a healthy way.
Okay, cool. So, what's the panel's thoughts on the Anunnaki? Does anybody have any idea what that is?
No, what is that?
I do.
Christ is
I don't
Lord,
know what the
Christ is
Anunnaki
Lord.
are.
I don't know what it is.
Explain.
I can tell you.
Quickly,
the Anunnaki,
quickly.
supposedly, are a group of alien beings who came down as star seeds and seeded the planet Earth for life, utilizing hybrid technology. in order to create like a lizard hybrid people in the beginning of our. That's what the
And they
Anunnaki.
have
to
cool,
know.
like
Good to
cool
know.
watch-looking things.
Yeah, we're not going to linger on the Anunnaki thing. Thank you. Thank you.
That's what we're at.
Don't worry about it. A couple questions for you here. You mentioned low vibrations. You mentioned frequencies. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with the one of the greatest minds of our generation, of our time, Terrence Howard. Are you familiar with him at all?
No, but explain the thought process.
So yeah, Terrence Howard, one of the greatest minds of our time. He asserts that frequencies, they have intrinsic power that resonates throughout history, and it influences our emotional, physiological, and cognitive states. Do you tend to agree
so
with
it would
that?
be, what the better word would be to use epigenetics. So epigenetics is the transfer of vibrational data through the generations.
Now, so
That is not what epigenetics means.
Hold on,
It does not
hold on,
mean
hold
the
on,
transfer
hold
of
on.
vibrational data.
hold on.
It actually does. I have degrees in this stuff.
Okay, you have degrees in from. Is
You
it
have
from-
degrees in epigenetics, huh?
I have a degree in psychology and social behavior, and I have a degree in counseling, and I also have a life coach certification from an institute that specializes in quantum physics and vibrational resonance.
Wait, what's
Okay,
the-
so in
what's
your
the name?
psychology degree, did they explain to you that epigenetics is the study of vibrational frequency passed down through the generation? I just want this on record.
So, for example, they have studied now in rats, right? In pregnant rats. They do these tests where the pregnant rat, they can tell now because they use water and the vibration of water and all this stuff in the mom. But vibrational data, meaning basically the traumas and the emotional information from the mother, gets transferred to that baby that she's pregnant with, and that goes back 7 generations.
That is not vibrational data.
It actually
which
is.
being transferred. No. In biology, epigenetics is the study of heritable traits or a stable change of cell function that happen without changes to the DNA sequence. These are not studies of the vibrational intergenerational frequencies of parents and sons, daughters, and heritability of vibrations. That's absurd. That's esotericism tossed in to epigenetics, which is a real legitimate scientific study. It's
Okay,
not
well,
about esoteric vibrations.
Your school of science and my school of science didn't date, apparently. So that's fine.
Your school of science studies vibrational frequencies passed down, heritable frequencies.
So
That's what-
my greatest mentor and who taught me about quantum physics and vibrational information is Mary Morrissey. You can look her up. She runs the Brave Thinking Institute, and she's a master. She's a master at creating anything you want. It's a science. It's called quantum physics, okay? Because we're all vibrational beings, and we are passing on vibrational information.
All right, so I've got a couple, like, I want to run some, like, this is from Terrence Howard. I just want to run, like, this by you and see if you kind of concur. So he says, with the science that Pythagoras was searching for, like, he's made discoveries in his own personal life, with the science that Pythagoras was searching for, he was able to open up the flower of life properly and find the real wave conjugations that we've been looking for 10,000 years. Why would I continue walking on water for tips when I got an entire... Okay, that's something else. Hold on, let me find the other quote. 1 second here. He says that... 1 sec, I'm getting it. So he says all the energy in the universe is expressed in motion. All motion is expressed in waves. All waves are curves. So where does the straight lines come from to make the platonic solids? There are no straight lines. So when I took the flower of life and opened it properly, I found all new wave conjugations that expose the in-between spaces.
Yep.
It's the thing that holds us all together.
Yep.
And
So
okay.
straight lines or solid matter is an optical illusion. It's not really what's going on scientifically. So if you hold it under the right microscope, you see there's no straight lines. There is vibration. Everything is moving, and it's waves. It's sound waves. It's all of this. And that is what our body is actually reading the data coming in.
Now he
well, no,
wait,
no,
hold on.
Okay.
So he also says that he's able to prove that gravity is only an effect and not a force. Do you tend to agree with that, or?
Gravity is only an effect and not a force. God, that's such a complicated way of saying that. I'm trying to translate it into like common speak, because that's the problem. A lot of stuff gets lost in translation, to be honest with you, because we all have our own way of understanding things, right? So that's why I speak street thug, I speak scientist, I speak life coach.
Gravity
You know,
is by itself, like with no one around. Is it a force?
I would say, okay. I will say this:
if you're with it,
gravity, if there's nothing to drop, is useless. It's only there to serve the matter that it is vibing with. You could say that it's around. So I guess that is true. It's not a force that's going to be penetrative. It's just there. If it's necessary, it's there to drop something.
Okay, but effects have causes.
That's true. Yeah.
So what's the cause of the effect?
That's a good question.
Can you rephrase that? Like, say it in a different way?
I actually am thinking about this.
Gravity?
I don't even know how I could ask that better.
Okay,
If
so
gravity is
you're
an
saying
effect, then
where
what
does the
is
law of gravity
cause
come
of the
from?
effect?
Where does the law of gravity come from? Is that what you're?
I'm saying if it's an effect, what is the cause of the effect?
The cause of the effect is us, is everything that would require the gravity to work.
things fall.
So it might be a human body, it might be an animal, it might be a rock getting
What caused
dropped.
the human body?
The human body. Well, that's
Wait,
the
hold
mystery.
on. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Gravity as a force, okay, you say it's an effect. This is an effect. Okay, but all effects have causes. What is the cause of this effect of gravity? You say, well, human beings are the effect of the cause.
Well,
of
I would say that honestly, even though I don't mean this to be like flippant, but I think that that's what we would call God. We would call that the mystery. There's certain things, it's a little above our pay grade of exactly how it came to be and exactly why it mathematically works perfectly and exactly why it's there. I mean, it's like the mystery of
So you
creating
don't know,
life.
right? You don't know what the cause is. That's what you're actually saying. Is I just
No,
don't know
I'm
what the
saying
cause
that
is for the
I can
effect.
say definitively the cause is what I would call God. You can call
Okay.
it whatever you want.
Got
You can
it.
call
So
it
the
science.
effect, so the cause of gravity is, or the effect of gravity is God. God is causing gravity to happen.
Well,
Is that-
I mean,
is that
I
your
hate to
stance?
say God because we have like this particular image, but that's just the best word that we've kind of come up with. You can call it the mystery. Again, the
Now,
mystery.
when you get into frequency, it's interesting because don't take this the wrong way, but from my perspective, what you're saying is a bunch of pseudoscientific nonsense. When you're talking about frequency, it is true that solid objects do have a frequency. For instance, if you took a wine glass and you hit the right pitch with your voice, you could break the glass. The reason that that glass breaks is because it does have a frequency, and the frequency of your voice, if they intersects, they can dissolve objects. There is precedent for this. We've known about this for a long, long, long time. What I don't understand, though, is this idea that there's no such thing as something solid.
There's not. See, you were already mistaken because you were calling the glass solid. And
It
you
is solid.
also said that it had a frequency. So if it has a frequency by nature, it's not solid.
That doesn't make any sense. Or
Because
follow.
a frequency connotes that something is in movement. If it's in movement, it's by nature not solid.
Okay, I'm moving this
no,
on.
that-
I'm moving this on. I'm moving it on. Final question on this. 2 + 2 = 4. Agree or disagree?
I mean, it depends on what the 2 is. Is it a pregnant mom? Is it 2 pregnant moms? Because that's more. So it's everything is not as
No,
simple.
I mean like math.
Just like 2 pencils plus 2 pencils. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like the
Object.
number,
The number two, the plus the number
number
two.
2 plus the number 2.
I would say for the most part, yes.
What do you mean for the most part?
Like I said,
What-
there's some
parts.
variations where, but the thing is, even that is a flawed concept because it's actually that pencil is billions of atoms that are vibrating. So we've come to call it one pencil, but it's actually however many atoms vibrating on the same frequency to make this appearance, this optical illusion that this is a pencil. And our human mind needs to label things and conceptualize it in solid form. So we just call
If it's not
things this or
solid,
that.
then how does it break?
Well, technically, it's not really broken. I mean,
It's
even
not
that's
broken?
well, you could say now it appears as two pieces. It still was never
Because
solid.
it's two pieces. That's why, right?
Well, no offense, but I think
Let's
you
say
need to
if you're
go
in a
to school
kindergarten
little longer.
class and the
Well, no
teacher,
offense, that's not an answer.
How is it not an
It's
answer?
saying no offense, but I don't have an answer to that.
I
just need
gave
to
you
go
the
to school is
answer and
not
you
an
didn't
answer.
want to
What's the
accept it, so
answer?
that's not my fault. If
Why
you don't
does
want to
the
accept
glass break if it's not solid?
it only appears to break.
It only
Just
appears
like
to,
a
so
heart
it's not,
only appears
so-
to break. It's still your
Okay.
heart.
No,
you still
but
go on.
that's way different. When you go through a heartbreak,
It's honestly
just
not.
the saying.
It's not that different, you
Can't
guys, on
see
a
your
scientific
heart broken.
microscopic level. It's not
right.
that
You
different.
can't see the heart broken because it's not really getting broken. It's a
You
saying.
can't die from a broken heart.
Just like the pencil, it's just a
But-
saying that
but
I
no,
broke the
I
pencil.
agree
It's
with
just
you.
it's the same
But
thing scientifically.
okay, that's like you saying I'm not really one human body because I'm made up of a million cells.
And that is true. I describe myself as more as a constellation. I'm a constellation of atoms and energy, and I
But you're
appear.
one person. You're
No,
one human
I
body.
mean, I don't think of myself as one of anything.
But
I
you
think of
can
myself
say
very
that. You can say that's your
multidimensional.
truth. But the reality is, you are
No,
one
it's
human
actually,
being.
No, the reality is actually
Okay, so I
not
could just
that.
grab a part of you, and there's two of you.
You could grab a piece of my hair.
But
and
that's your hair
But
coming
guess what?
up.
That's just a part
That's all
of
my
you.
DNA. All my DNA is in that one piece of
Yeah,
hair.
but that's
My
not.
whole
That's
But
not
that's not your.
explaining-
That's not your
Hang on,
body, though.
That's
That
not
comes off of
explaining
your body.
ontology.
Exactly. And guess what? My body is not who I am.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but that's
It's
so. That's
true.
an ontological claim. What is you then?
I'm not definable. I am.
You're not.
I
You
thought
don't
you were
exist.
valuable,
am.
though. I thought you were very valuable, though, and you were very unique.
You don't.
I
wait,
am.
You don't
Just
exist.
like
You're
God
Schrodinger's,
came,
you're
Jesus
Schrodinger's
said,
feminist
I
made
am.
flesh. You just don't exist.
I am. I am.
You both exist and both don't exist at the same time.
We're very complex, aren't we?
All right, Madison,
No,
read
not
these,
really.
please.
I mean,
ahead.
when you make an ontological
Madison.
claim, you try to
Causes
justify
Read it,
it.
Madison.
When we're dead, aside from death rattle, nothing is moving. I've only expended maybe 80 years worth of vibration when I was alive. How do I pass on vibration when I dead?
When I did.
You have 10 seconds to answer that if you want.
You're essentially when this biological body dies, your energetic vibration is still there. So we could call that the afterlife, whatever you want to say. You decompose and your energy recycles back into
Go
the
ahead,
cosmos.
Madison.
This chick is confusing science with an achievement you can unlock in Assassin's Creed Unity.
Well, I got to ask this one last question. Does 2 + 2 = 4?
In your brain, it definitely does.
In everyone's brain,
No,
it does.
I'm asking you.
Again, if it's two, like, what are we talking about? Two
The number
what?
two.
I'm
Numbers.
just asking you a
Literally
simple
the
question.
number
Does 2
two.
You
+
guys
2
are-
= 4?
One atom plus one atom equals 2. Yes.
Okay, what about
Okay,
two
so
atoms?
does
and
2
atoms?
+ 2 so
That
I just
equals
want a yes
whatever
or
that
no.
is. 2
Does
plus 2
it,
is
or
4.
yes or no, = 4?
Say it again.
Does 2, I just want a yes or no. Does 2 + 2 = 4?
If we're talking on the atomic level, yes.
Okay, what level does it not equal 4?
Anything other than the atomic level.
So anything other than the atomic level, meaning
I am a body made of billions of cells.
Well, that
so
feels like my brain.
Say that again.
That felt like my brain.
it's too heady for this. Why are we even talking about all this science, guys? Who cares?
It just feels like nobody else.
No,